I'm loud. Hey, there we are. We are live. Halloween. Happy Halloween, everyone. Grab your favorite candy from your kids. Pull up a chair.
I've done that.
What a time. Dude, me too. I've had Twix. I'm not a, I don't I'm not like the fruity type of candy guy. You know what I mean? Like, I like Skittles.
Yeah.
I like Skittles. I don't like Jolly Ranchers and things like that. Just don't like them. So,
Yeah.
anyway,
I'm a
but I've
I
had some
am
Reese's Cups. Yeah.
I am kind of a gummy kind of like gummy worm type candy
Yeah.
but I like chocolate candy too,
I've had a couple Twix, little Reese cups. I feel like you can eat more because they're little.
Yeah.
There you go. Caleb's a candy guy, right? Now
Yeah.
Skittles, I could eat Skittles. I mean, you eat so many Skittles, your like teeth start to hurt.
Yeah, they
So there,
do.
we got a Reese cup. Yeah, well, let us know. Listen, when you're here, you're watching. Let us know what's your favorite Halloween candy. If you're sticking your hand in your kid's candy bag, what's your favorite Halloween candy? Also, what did you go as? What did you go as? I am I'll tell you my costume in just a second. Did you go with your kids today? And what did you dress up as? How was bear hunting? Long and hard. We didn't kill anything.
That's what
I'm
she
gonna
said.
go ahead and I'm gonna share this list. What'd you just say?
I said that's what she said.
Whoa, Mike with the dirty joke. Guys, I've never heard it before. I've never heard it come out of his mouth. Mike with the dirty joke.
Bro, that was teed up. That was teed up.
Well, I know when I said it, but am I yelling? Am I very loud?
No, you're not that loud.
I've got my mic down, so I'm going to share this. Listen, if you're watching, we have about 40 people on. We're talking about our favorite candy. We're going to be talking about all the deer activity we've seen on our cameras the last few days. While we're doing that, why don't you go ahead and share this with your friends on your Facebook page? Let them know we're talking about candy. We're talking about deer hunting. Two things we love. Let them know what we're talking about. Come enjoy the conversation. And I'm going to share it on my page right now, Mike.
Excellent.
Mike, how was your Halloween? Go ahead and tell us. How was it tonight?
It was good, man. I tell you that up here in Northern Kentucky, the sky was like a really, I don't know if down where you were at Frankfort was the sky like a kind of like a pink, purple, kind of orange color.
Yeah.
When it was a wild color up here, man. I actually took a picture kind of outside of our neighborhood, out towards a farm that's on beyond our neighborhood. The sun was shining, but it was also really cloudy, so it ended up making a bunch of different colors in the sky. And then the snow started coming. So it was really cool, really unique night. I had coffee walking around with the kids, and Caleb was a UK football player. He actually had a Dane Key jersey on, and he had the padded pants and stuff. And Haley was a Starbucks barista, and Wyatt was Batman. So we had a good time.
Nice. I saw the barista outfit. I saw also that she obviously got cold pretty quickly. Yeah. Tim Harris says, "What's up, guys? Some real activity picking up, and had a 203-pound 8-point checked in today in my shop."
Wow,
and that's a big 8-point.
That is a big bodied deer, man.
That's a big deer. You know what? I'll tell you what. Someone asked about, who was it asked about bear hunting? Gordy. Let me tell you about bear hunting. 80 degrees is too hot to bear hunt in. When you're trying to put a stalk on one and just trying to see one off in the distance so you can get to, I am sunburned from bear hunting. Yeah. I wore a t-shirt the whole weekend and my arms are sunburned from bear hunting at the end of October. We were sweating. It shouldn't have been that hot.
Yeah.
The problem with bear hunting, it was so freaking dry that one, makes it hard to track, and two, we all sounded like bears coming through the woods. It was so loud. I've never seen it. And I mean, like, not just bear hunting. I mean, being in Harlan on a mountain, I've never seen it that dry. Never.
Wow.
But we had a blast. Loman was there about a day and a half. Chris McNaughton came in, and we were there for 2 days. I think we ended up putting in about 15 miles in 2 days over across about 2 mountains, and just didn't see a lot of sign, didn't see much. Yeah. Let's see, John, what are you wearing? This is I'm not John. This is a Halloween costume. I'm Alan Probst from North American Trapper. This is a fox fur. So I'm going as Alan Probst tonight. Why don't some of you tag Alan Probst and North American Trapper in the comments so he can see this. Mark Corey usually checks us out. I bought this from them. So I'm going as I couldn't find anything to wear. I thought, man, I need a mask or something. I knew Scott Butler would rather see me in a mask than my actual face. So I thought, I'm going to find something. I've walked around. I looked. Most of the things were like silly hats from the girls or something. Ellis wore a big mushroom hat this year. She was a mushroom.
That was cool.
Had a Barbie cowgirl hat. Didn't want to wear a pink hat. So I'm Alan Probst. It's a real fox fur. I mean, it's pretty awesome. It's a little warm. I'll probably take it off here in a few minutes.
Yep.
I just wanted to show up in costume tonight, Alan Probst, with my real clothes that I wore today, just fox fur. So what do you think, Mike? What do you think of the costume?
I love it. I love it, man. I like Alan. Alan's a great dude. And anytime we get a chance to talk to them at our show, or if we happen to have them on our own show here sometimes, which I'm sure we'll do later as we all start to shift gear to trapping late season after deer season kind of wraps up. But Alan's such a great dude, and you've nailed it. You know, you got the fur there. You got that actually matches your hat real good.
It does match my hat well. And Alan usually wears a vest. I didn't have one.
Yeah.
Maybe, hey, Alan, if you're watching, send me some swag. Send me some NAT, North American Trapper swag. I'll represent. I agree with Scott. You need a mask. Scott says, if you got matching underwear, please don't stand up. Joke's on you, Scott. I'm not wearing anything down here. So
got overheated.
There you go. Yeah. Burning up, good and fresh.
Yeah.
Hurley says, you are too loud. John, Hurley Combs Jr. Go buy some bear dogs. I told Hurley. So Hurley, over on his properties, they killed 8 bears with dogs. Some of you call it cheating. I call it fair. They killed 8 bears. It was with by chasing them with dogs. I think he said they treated like 20, 21.
Wow.
Killed 8. He said it was very difficult, lots of fun. And so I have decided, Mike, if you can't beat them, join them. So I'm going to have to get me a bear dog.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know, you and I talk about it on the show all the time.
What's a good bear dog? A beagle or a feist or something?
I would assume probably beagle or, you know, maybe a pointer or, you know, pretty much any dog that can tree. You know, I know his dad's got all them squirrel dogs. They could probably do it.
Squirrel dogs. I wondered that. I've not got to talk to him. I called him yesterday, and he shunned me. And then he called me back while I was trick-or-treating with my girls, and I said, hey, I called you yesterday. And he said, man, I just didn't answer the phone. He was so tired. He's been resting. And then I was just calling back. But as soon as I got home, I had to get the girls in bed and come here. Yeah. Brandon Epperson says hello. Brandon, the big buck killer Epperson, we'll call him, says hello from Illinois. 15, 13 does, $2, $8 tonight, no does.
Wow.
My brother has a lot of does and a couple of bucks on camera. One really nice buck that came in yesterday morning, and one really nice buck that came in over the weekend. Other than that, smaller bucks. Gordy says, wish I could show you a picture of my holster my cousin made for me. Send it to me, Gordy. Send it to me. Mike, you're wearing like a Sherlock Holmes hat.
Yeah, dude. This is my, it's kind of one of those hats that it's kind of got the sock hat rim, and it's got a short bill for when you're bow hunting. It's kind of that colder weather. This was I was actually digging through a backpack that was given to me after my grandpa passed away. My uncle told me you could have his backpack. And when I opened his backpack, he told me whatever's in it, you can have it. And this was my grandpa's hat. So I wore it when he took the kids out tonight. It kept my head warm.
Yeah. You need like a gray overcoat and a pipe, and you'll be Sherlock Holmes. So Steve has called me out. Fair enough. Steve says, John, weren't you talking the other week about how you're so glad you don't have a dog? Steve, I'm still so glad I don't have a dog. But I said, if you can't beat them, join them. And obviously, I struggle to kill a bear on my own. So I'm just going to have to borrow a dog, let her loose, let her tree that bear. And as soon as that bear gives me a shot, I have to take it. I was going to go like, I reined it in right there from what I was going to say. I don't want any clips taken from this and make me look, bad. But hat makes you look cool, Mike. Look at that.
Thank
I
you.
bet that's a female.
You never know. I don't know.
Mike gets a lot of we get a lot of females in our inbox, and they're always after Mike.
You seem to send them my way, if you will.
They'll say like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I'll say, "I think you're looking for Mike Collins."
Throw me under the bus, man.
And then they don't say anything else. The last one I said like, "You're not real," and they're like, "How do you know?" And I'm like, and I just did a robot. Mike, did you see the guy that was telling me like, I know you watched. I was fake arguing with a guy that said he was a Native American.
I don't
He
think
was like, "You don't respect animals. You just put them on your wall." First of all, I don't have any animals on my wall. You just put them on your wall, and you're supposed to do this and this and this. And I said, "Actually, my grandparents are 100% Cherokee." And he's like, "Then you should know better." And then I started sending him like pictures of Native Americans and telling him his last name was a very, very white last name. And I said, "You're not Native American. You're white." So anyway,
oh boy.
It was just
yeah.
fun.
I do. I love his hat. When I found it in my grandpa's backpack, I was like, "Oh dang, I got to wear that tonight." Pump me up. It's weird, dude. You know how like your grandpa and your grandparents have that distinction. You walk in their house and you like that's your grandparents. Like you smell your grandparents.
Yeah,
his
like
hat.
mothballs.
Yeah. But no, dude, it like his backpack. Yeah, like I can still smell my grandpa. It's kind of crazy.
It is, man. It is.
I love this hat. As soon as I found it,
That's special.
I was pumped up.
That's very special. Let's see. Anyway, let's get to the comments. No, it's Dwayne and not a female. Sorry, Dwayne. Sorry, Dwayne.
He's sorry, Dwayne.
Barrett said he froze his butt off this evening. I bet you did, Barrett. I froze my butt off getting candy. Thing is, did it pay off, Barrett? Did you get a deer? I'm guessing not. You would have told us.
That wind is what was bad tonight. To be honest with you, it was real rough. That wind was, especially if you were on a ridge or up on top of a hill. That
Bub says in the tent tonight, guys, in Lawrence County for this great weather. Well, there you go. There you go. Hurley says, actually got none on my property. They were safe last week, saving them for you, John, for December hunt. That's very tempting. But the dog chase is not in December, though. It's like they do it again on this Thursday on November. There's one day of it. Don't know.
Oh, is it really? I didn't know that.
Don't know why. And then there's like another week later in November, but none in December. So
yeah.
You know what? While we're talking about dogs, we're going to talk about deer. Let's take 5 minutes. I want to discuss something. Let me know if you're watching and you're in the comments and you live in Kentucky. Tell me where you live in Kentucky, because this is for specifically Kentuckians. If you're not from Kentucky, we're so glad to have you. We hope you're here. We hope you stay. But we are Kentuckians. And there's an issue coming up with these raccoons, Mike. An issue with the raccoons. The vote is in December. And I want to bring it up real quick because I got some information on it. Good. I just want to know what everyone thinks.
I'm glad we have info.
If you're in Kentucky, drop something in the comments to let me know you're in Kentucky. Maybe you drop an emoji of a horse. Or maybe it's, I don't know, a K. Maybe it's the county you live in. Who knows? Let's see here. I'm getting a lot of messages. French Vegas. Never heard of that. Kenton County. That's up there with you, Mike. I wonder who that is.
That's the county I'm in right now.
Douglas Clayton. Bullitt County. Come on, guys. I know there's more than 4 people. Hanson. Loman was there this weekend bear hunting.
Yeah.
He found a really nice bear bed. You could tell the bear had been laying there and pooped there 3 times right in the same thing. We stopped at the check-in to ask to just see what was going on, and he asked the biologist. He's like, that's a bear bedding area. And the biologist said he ain't gonna come back to that. Like they just lay down wherever they want.
Yeah.
So there goes that. All right. So we have several people: Pike County, Kenton County, Grant County. 3 Grant counties. That's awesome.
Grant County. That's where
Garland, Meade, Richmond, Louisville, Hart, Lawrence, Bullitt, Hanson, French Vegas, Kenton again. All right. Wheelwright, City Commissioner of Wheelwright, Michael Bub Tackett. Big time Andy Bashir fan. So anyway, now here's the second question for the Kentuckians. Yes or no? Just type a simple yes if you agree, or no if you disagree. Should Kentucky move or turn into law a 2 raccoon limit for coon hunters? That'll be per night, 2 raccoons per night. That's all you can kill per night. Should Kentucky start that law? Do you think we should vote yes on that law? Yes or no? Ooh, lots of no's. Lots of no's. Lohman said Lohman is the president, founder, creator of the Hopkins County Sportsmen and Sportswomen's Outdoor Club. I don't know exactly what the name is.
Now, John, do you have I'm out of curiosity. Do you have a reason why they're doing that?
Yes.
Do you have
I'm getting ready to explain it. Yes, I'm getting ready. I got some information from someone who is going to vote against it. This is from a district commissioner, District 1 commissioner. He's going to vote against it, but only because everyone in his zone wants him to, or his district. Oh, my line is messing up back here. Everyone in his district wants him to vote against it. Okay. Otherwise, he thinks it's actually a good idea, I believe.
Interesting. So he's kind of going with the people. Okay.
Here's what happened. Gordy, there is no limit. I'm going to read you guys. Listen, you guys are getting inside information here. Like, it pays to watch this show, right? This is, I just had to send a text. You send a text or email. He told you the same thing. And I've not actually responded to his text, and I should have. But I was bear hunting. Here's what he said. I just said, hey, I know that you always vote with your constituents, even if you disagree. Have you heard from people about this limit? His first sentence, you bet I have. All right?
Interesting.
Now, this is the issue. Paducah Shooter Supply, that is a store out in Paducah. They put on a coon killing tournament last summer with all kinds of prizes with the intent of controlling nest raiders. Sounds great. We're all for it, right? You agree, Mike? You're for that?
Yeah.
Okay. However, here's what happened. There were 600 total coons killed.
Wow.
A lot of them were killed not using dogs, but using thermal imaging and night view scopes. The big negative about the whole thing was some of the hunters piled up all these dead coons, drove around showing them off, then dumped a lot of them in a ditch by a road where ladies walk in the afternoon. The ladies were angry and appalled that the senseless killing and wanton waste. They don't, and so what happened was the ladies were very upset. Now, what Robin said, Robin Floyd, District 1 Commissioner, Robin had a great idea. He said it could have been a positive thing if they would have field dressed them, found someone to take care of them, like turn them into barbecue, and donated the food to some kind of shelter, right?
Yep.
That makes sense. If you watch Meat Eater, the Steve Ranella Meat Eater, they make raccoon barbecue all the time. Or I don't know about all the time, but I've seen it on there a couple times. I know people that eat raccoons. It's not your number one choice, right? But we don't.
Yeah.
We don't just throw dozens or hundreds of raccoons in a ditch when people that don't understand what we're doing can see it.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah.
That's brutal. That's brutal, and that's detrimental to the people.
It is horrible. Yeah. It's horrible. It's a horrible look for hunters.
It's terrible.
Right? Yeah. So at the last commission meeting, the commissioners got a letter from 25 different coon hunting organizations asking them to put a 2 coon per night limit on coon hunting. 0 effect on trapping, which we know that trapping is more effective than hunting, right? If you really want to get rid of them. He said those 25 organizations represented about 600 coon hunters, so it's not something they could ignore. He said everybody he's talked to, the Land Between the Lakes Sportsman's Club, they were unanimously against it. They voted they do not want this to pass. However, he thought it was actually a good idea to stop people from just doing this. Killing coons for no reason and disposing of them in a way that is unethical to what we would do, right?
Yeah. The disposal of them things, them creatures, if you will, common sense, man.
Yeah.
Common sense. You can't do that.
I mean, you could have donated. Look, here's the thing. Let's see. Mark says, I know several coon hunters that was upset they had the tournament because most coon hunters don't kill many coons. Well, that's what I'm getting ready to get to. Someone said something. Well, Barrett said hide's not worth skinning. I understand that. But you just can't.
You can't
dump it in a ditch.
You can't dump it where it's going to be seen by people that
don't understand, right?
Yeah.
If you and I saw a pile of dead raccoons, it'd probably raise our eyebrows like, what in the world is that?
Yeah.
Right? Like, what happened? But we're not going to lose sleep over it. It's not going to upset us emotionally. But if you're seeing, I mean, if it was 10 raccoons, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But they killed 600. I don't know how many they just dumped in the ditch.
Yeah, man.
And that's going to smell rancid.
But
if you're walking by that, I mean,
there is a lot wrong with doing that. And it's the main reason is the obvious. It is just, you're really, really shedding a bad light on hunters.
I agree.
This
really person
bad.
Says, I use them for trapping bait. Cubby set, they are great for coyotes. That's from Bub. I think it's a great idea. How could they have been used? What could they have done? Or could they just concealed it better? Not just been, not just been reckless with it. I mean, look, I got criticized by 2 or 3 hunters for the way I killed a what was it I killed? Thing that killed Steve Ray, a stingray, right? But I was using it for shark bait. Right? People were watching and I killed the stingray and then I cut off his fins. I use it for shark bait, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. But these guys didn't use it for anything. These guys just dumped them in the ditch. But here's the interesting point. Here's the interesting point that Robin made that I don't think we can disagree with, even if we don't like it. He said, whether this new law passes or not will make no difference. We really do have an overabundance of coons. We agree. Coon hunters don't kill many because they want to run their dogs and have no use for the coons. So just like Mark Lilly said, they're not even. Somebody said, John, what are you wearing? This is my Halloween costume. I am Alan Probst from North American Trapper. So pulling it off, I gotta say.
I'm glad you shared this information.
Let me finish what he said.
Yeah, go ahead.
He said, most coon hunters don't kill many coons because they just run their dogs. They have no use for the coons. We have an 8-month-long trapping season. If folks want to control coons, they simply need to buy a trapping license and trap them. And for goodness sakes, don't throw the dead carcasses in a ditch by the road where ladies walk.
Fair.
Agree.
Probably common sense.
It's not going to pass. There will be a couple commissioners. I don't think it'll pass. There'll be a couple commissioners that, honestly, you could have used that earlier, John. I don't know what. Tell Bear. I'm sorry. You'll have to tell me what I could have used earlier. Sorry, but I think there'll be a couple commissioners who vote for it, even though the people in their district say no. They'll just do it because they want to, because they're coon hunters. Whatever. Probably not the way. You probably shouldn't go against the people. Now I might be wrong. They might unanimously vote against it in December. I think a couple of them won't because they're coon hunters, right? And they're going to side with the coon hunting organization. Yeah. Overwhelmingly, the people I've talked to that Bub talked to in his group, he just mentioned his group, they're against it.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you really dig down and you think about it, coon hunters aren't making a dent in coons anyway. We need people to trap them. So just like me, Alan Probst for North American Trapper.
Yeah.
But
just a coon hunters or folks that are coon hunting with dogs, they want the two coon limit per person per night because it prevents the tournaments where they're getting killed and so they want that 2 limit to where it keeps it down a little bit.
Exactly.
I think was it Jeremy Myers? He had a good question. What does dumping coons in a ditch have to do with a 2-day limit? I think what happens there is because ladies walk by there and complained about it, and it's obviously shedding a terrible light on coon hunting and coon hunters. Now it's bringing up, hey, let's because of this situation or these situations, let's make it to where they can't kill all these and do something like this ever again.
So it's that, and it's people who do not recognize we have way too many coons, who do not recognize the damage they can potentially do, who do not understand trapping and killing that type of animal. It's those people who might not necessarily be against hunting, but they're not hunters. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But if they see that, you better believe they're going to the other side. They're going to want that ended. So, Fish and Wildlife is not just Fish and Wildlife for hunters. It's for everyone, right? And it's not just to take care of deer and turkeys. It's to take care of predators too.
Yeah.
It's conservation. And it's good conservation practices. It might be great conservation to thin out the coon population, but it's a terrible look and a terrible partnership with the community just to dump them in a ditch, hundreds of them in a ditch. So I think that's the problem, is that, if a hunting group or hunters have feedback from Fish and Wildlife, that's great. Even criticism of what they could do better, fine. We're allowed to do that. But when we give non-hunters a reason to criticize hunting and come out against hunting, that's a problem, especially in today's world, right? Mm-hmm. That's a major problem. So, Bub said he has 300 acres in Lawrence County. Come coon hunt all you want. Just kill the coons. Oh, yeah, Barrett, you could have used this to keep you warm. My neck really is warm right now. It's pretty nice. And you know what? I've not turned my heat on yet, so there we go. Look at that. Little fox. Good fox, too. It's a good size.
Trapped by Alan Probst himself.
I really did. I don't know if he trapped it or Mark or his dad or somebody, but I really did buy this from Alan Probst. Yep. And it's the only thing I could find for a Halloween costume. And I said, you know what? I'm going to be Alan Probst, North American Trapper. He's got his own TV show. Good guy. Played Major League Baseball. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you shared that information. I've been wondering what was going on with that. That situation with them voting on that 2-day limit. Two raccoon per person. I think I would be a no on that myself. But we got, if we're going to do these tournaments and stuff, do better. Don't dump these raccoons in plain sight where people.
Imagine if we did a coyote tournament and we just dumped coyotes in a ditch.
Right.
Like you just can't. You have to show a measure of concern and care for what you're hunting. You have to, even if you care nothing about the coons. If you wish they all would die, which is silly, you can't just not show no care for them at all to the public, right? So here's what I would say. Let's look at, I think there's 2 guys on the commission. I'm sure they're wonderful guys, but these are the 2 guys that I think are more leaning toward voting yes for this. So if you are against it, here's who you need to reach out to. If you live in Breathitt, Floyd, Johnson, Harlan, Knott, Lawrence, Leslie, Letcher, McGoffin, Martin, Owsley, Perry, Pike, you need to reach out to your 7th District Commissioner, which is Paul Horn. Let him know you're against it. Paul Horn is a coon hunter. He will probably side with those 25 coon organizations. He's allowed to do that in his position. If you are in the 8th district, which is Bath, Bourbon, Boyd, Carter, Elliott, Fleming, Greenup, Lewis, Mason, Menifee, Montgomery, Morgan, Nicholas, Rowan, and Wolf, then you need to, and you're against it, you need to reach out to Doug Morgan, who is the 8th district commissioner. I think Doug is the one who proposed the regulation after he received these letters. So I don't know if they'll side with you, or maybe they'll side with the coon hunters, but you need to reach out anyway. I think this is Bub said that he reached out to Paul already.
Yeah. I think Jeremy's right. That next comment from Jeremy, I think he's right about that. I think this is a situation where you can say, "Hey, look what's going on here." So it's just kind of driving that situation. Yeah.
No, coon hunters don't want coon. Here's the it's just a oxymoron. Coon hunters don't want coons killed. I mean, most of them are just running coons. They're not shooting them. Right. They're just running their dogs. And I'm not speaking for them, but they don't want them thinned out. Coon hunters don't want them thinned out. It's kind of like me with bears. People are like, man, I wish they'd get rid of bears. Not me. I wish we had more. I don't have to deal with them getting in my garbage or tearing down my trail cams. That's not my problem. So I wish we had more bears because I like to kill one.
I would love to get one myself.
If you go to Harlan County, not them, man. My family and friends in Harlan say they wish those things were gone. So there you go.
That opened my eyes last December when we were down there. You're right.
Barrett Rich is actually the commissioner overall. Like he's the guy in charge. He's the main commissioner. District 8 is Doug Morgan. Mark's right. It's unrealistic. Even if it's passed, it would be too hard to regulate. Most of the time I kill a coon, it's left at the base of the tree it was in. I ain't packing them all back to the truck, so I'm not ever going to have more than 2 in my possession. And you know what, Mark? If those guys would have left those coons at the base of those trees, we wouldn't even be talking about this right now.
It's probably true.
No, it definitely. But when you pile, I mean, can you imagine piling 600 coons in a truck?
No.
And, just like, I killed 600 coons. Not I, but we. So anyway, but hey, what about that deer movement? Has anyone sent me any deer pictures today? Have you sent me any deer pictures to show? Are you seeing your target buck come in, Mike? You're not.
No, not seeing any bucks on camera. To be honest with you, I think right now my camera is probably not in the best location. It's a cell cam, so I just have it in a place where I know it's going to have immediate service. To be honest with you, I probably need to move it. It's probably not in the best location for that type of deer movement.
Let me pause the deer just for one more thing.
Sure.
Bub for District 3 commissioner. Bub's not in District 3. Is he? No. District 3 is Breckenridge Bullet. No, District 3 is Louisville. Bub is actually in.
He's in 8 or
7th. He's in 7th. And so Paul Horn probably doesn't have much longer. Bub, I'm telling you right now, Bub could win for 2 reasons. One, he's already a city commissioner, right? He obviously is a man of the people. And 2, he's a massive Andy Beshear fan. Andy Beshear, the governor, is the one who chooses the dude for the position. The people vote. They take the top 3. The governor chooses one out of the top 3. They have to be confirmed by the Senate. Bub is a massive Andy Beshear fan. Bub, you could do it. Your guy would choose you. You could shake hands with the governor, tell him how much you admire him, and then serve us for district commissioner. But when you're up there, Bub, and you're still district commissioner, I want you still on this show because you have to remain a man of the people. Look who's speaking of man of the people. Look at our guy, Jimmy Carroll here.
Love it.
John, the question I sent you earlier was, can I check process 2 at the same time? Check and process 2.
So as far as like deer?
Yeah, you can do that same time, same day.
Yeah. All you would do is you would just do especially if you did it online, you would just do you would check one in and it says report another harvest. You would just back that up with reporting another harvest and filling out the proper information. Yep. For sure.
Sorry, Jimmy. I thought I answered your question. Then I didn't reply to your other message. Not too bad. Trying to mend up and be ready for next Saturday. Jimmy's trying to get ready and get his strength back up to go hunting next Saturday, November 11th, which is my day to be at Fort Knox, and I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Let's see. He said, "Is there a daily bag limit?" It depends on the zone you're in. Not in your zone. There's not. You can kill one buck. That's it.
Yep. Zone 1, we're good for as many does and the 1 buck a year. But if you end up filling all your tags, you just get you some antlerless bonus tags and keep after it.
Yeah. Oh, it's opposite here.
Let's see.
I just want to keep the Fox in the shot here.
I'm always forgetting who my district commissioner is.
You're in Kenton?
Yeah,
you are Josh Lillard.
Josh Lillard.
Good fella.
Is that the 5th district?
That is the 5th district. You know what?
I thought so.
I'm in the
Josh Lillard.
I'm in the
Scott.
6th, I think.
Josh Lillard.
I'm in the 6th. Yeah. I'm in the 6th. Yep. Let's see here. Let's look at the comments. Chris sent me his $2. Scott Butler says, I got an 8-pointer now, about 15 inches wide, having a ball running a doe around my cell cam. That's what you want to see. James Evans, I've caught 2 different times where younger bucks are tickling those antlers this week on my cams. Love it. John, can I get a shout out? Sure. Shout out to PK. PK and I are going to Fort Knox Friday morning, and it'll be my first time there. We're going to check out a unit that he's been I don't know if he's been there before, but it was his suggestion. And I got some information. Somebody confirmed it was actually a good spot. PK, if you just want me to shout you out as being a good dude, you are. But if you sent me a picture to put on the screen, I don't have it. Steve said, here, Steve's got a question for us.
Yeah.
If you could only hunt 9 a.m. to noon or 1 to 4 tomorrow, which would you choose? Ooh, guys, we need to let Steve know. I want everyone to reply. If you're watching and you've not clicked on the video to where you could comment, I want you to click on the video. Let Steve know. Should he hunt? I forgot what it was. 9 a.m. to noon. 9's a little late start. I mean, it'd be better 7:30-ish to noon. 9 a.m. to noon or 1 to 4. I would say, Steve, if you can get there at 7:30, could you do 7:30 to noon? Maybe you have to take your kids to work, to school. That's kind of my deal right now. So what do you think, Mike?
My initial instinct and quick response would be 9 a.m. to noon because I love to hunt the mornings. But to be honest with you, I think I would do 1 to 4 because it's a little bit of that oddball afternoon time. There's not right now, currently, there is not a lot of all-day hunter activity during that time. So I think it's a case that you could probably slip in, and a deer would probably not be used to having a hunter in the woods at that time, specifically where you're at. So I think I would kind of do that 1 to 4, try to catch some afternoon movement.
Let's see what everybody's saying. Let's see here. Dwayne says 9 to noon, 9 to noon, 9 to noon. Chris saw 2 deer moving around 1:30 to 2:30 today. Mm-hmm. Gary, 9 to noon. Scott, 1 to 4. Jeremy, 9 to 4. Jeremy, you're cheating. That wasn't the question.
Jeremy had a cool encounter today. He said, we'll get back to the time. He said that he had one of the coolest hunts of his life, heard a buck roar for the first time ever, and had his target buck lip curl at 8 yards, but couldn't get a shot.
Oh, gosh.
That's
Tell you about a cool video. I wish I could post it, but this guy, so his last name's Taze. I can't think of his first name. He killed I posted it yesterday, I believe, killed a 471-pound bear, a big boar. And after he shot it at 10 yards, it ran 30 and collapsed. You just hear it going, ooh, like making a loud noise, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Loud. Like he was a monster of a bear. All right, let's see. 9 to 12, 1 to 4, 9 to 12. Mark, most of my deer moved today around 10. There you go. Said the deer in his area might not be there at 7. Maybe not. I said 7:30. 9 to 12, 1 to 4, 1 to 4, 1 to 4. 8 to noon is what he'll be doing. Moon is awfully bright right now all night. I'd say 9 to 12. I think we got a few more 1 to 4s than 9 to 12, Steve. But it's about 50-50. So really, go when you can. If you can go 9 to 4, like Jeremy said, that's the best thing you can do. If you only got 3 hours, PK says 8 to 12, then do your best. Get out there when you think. I would think if it was me, I think I would do 1 to 4. This time of year, it seems like a lot of bucks are killed that early afternoon. My only problem about going in there 1 to 4 is you might get in there when they're moving. You might bump them out of there.
You could, yeah, yeah.
9 seems like a better time to walk into the woods.
Yeah, just a couple weeks ago, I think it was muzzleloading weekend. My uncle Darren was walking back to his stand. He was starting to head back in at around that 2:30 mark, and he walked. We have a little, very narrow clover field and some bottoms. He walked around the path and was going to walk to a tree stand past that clover field, and there was a buck standing in it at about 2:30, 2:45 in the afternoon, just eating clover.
I got to admit, I'm bummed that I've already killed a buck.
I'm sure it's prime time now. It's those early bucks.
I just want the buck I killed. It was small. It was a very small buck. I don't regret killing it at all.
Yeah,
I don't care how big it was, how small it was. I just like the unpredictability of this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, but I do have 2 buck tags at Fort Knox, and I'm going to try my best to fill those.
Yeah, I just sent my gun permit in today, mailed it in.
I called today. I filled mine out today. I called and I said, hey, I said, can I email it? She said, you can mail it or you can bring it to us. I said, okay, if I mail it, will you be able to approve it by next Saturday when I'm there for my archery hunt? She said, probably not. It takes longer if you mail it. I said, okay, if I bring it to you on Friday, she said, if you bring it to me on Friday, we'll have it ready by next Saturday. I said, okay, that's all I need to know. So I'm taking it there on Friday. I think, Mike, let's say I go not the 11th, but I go the 18th and 19th for muzzleloader. Since I was drawn for that first weekend, I can also go the 25th and 26th and the other weekends too, I believe.
I believe so. Yeah.
So if I don't kill one 18th and 19th, I might just come out there with you guys after Thanksgiving. Yeah. My mom won't like that, but hey, sorry, Mom. She won't be
Fort Knox buck on the line, man.
Sorry, Mom.
Fort Knox buck on the line.
And at that point, I'm nervous though, man. I'm nervous because I'm terrified of shooting something too small and getting in trouble.
Yeah.
I can't afford to pay a fine right now. I don't want to lose my bow or my gun.
Yeah. The first look, I mean, you just got to make sure it's outside the ears. If it's outside the ears, you're good. If it's not.
What if it's right on the tip of the ears?
Then don't do it. Listen,
it's only 12 inches. It's only a foot.
I don't know that Doug Clayton's on here, and I may have told this story before. I don't know that he's on, but my dad, they were hunting down there one year, and my dad shot a wide. It was a wide 6-pointer, and it was small.
Yeah,
but it was wide enough.
Is there a point restriction? I read those today,
there's not a point restriction.
Okay, no, I read the regulations today. I didn't think there was.
Yeah, there's not. It's a width. It's a 12-inch wide width, and I think it's outside spread. There he is. Doug will remember this because Doug has told this story many times. But my dad shot a 6-pointer, and it was like, my dad swore up and down. He knew. He's like, I knew it was wide enough. I didn't have any problem shooting it. I shot it, and it was good. They took it to the check station, and
was he nervous though?
I don't. Doug.
I bet you were nervous.
I wasn't there for that hunt. I was younger when this happened.
Yeah.
But Doug would be able to tell you whether Dad was nervous or not. My dad says he wasn't. But when they got back to the check station, they all looked at my dad. When they pulled that deer out, they all looked at my dad and said, there's no freaking way you knew that was wide enough. I think it was like, Doug, you'd have to remind me, I think it was like 12.25. Like it barely made it.
I bet his butthole was tight.
They told my dad there is no way that was wide enough. But it was, it totally was. So Dad's like, Dad told him, well, it's wide enough. So right there, it's 12 in this and it's good.
I don't know if Chris is trying to make me feel better. It's not working, Chris. Be careful, John. Be careful there at Fort Knox on those limits. We'll be praying for you. Chris, that just sounds like it's even more serious.
They'll take your deer, man. They'll take
I
your
don't
deer from
listen. If they took my deer, I would be sad. Hey, I've paid way too much for. In the last 2 years, I bought a new bow and I bought all those rifles, including the Thompson Center muzzleloader. I can't let them take the weapons.
I don't think they take weapons.
Just don't take my weapons. Mark says if you get up and you think it might not be big enough, head shoot it and bust the skull. Oh, there you go.
Hey, so another funny story.
Not a bad idea, Mark. See, Mark's one of those guys, I think, and I respect it. He'll go to the very line of the rule book. You know what I mean? He's like a Bill Belichick. Like he pushes the envelope so he can get a little edge. I respect it. Greatly respect it, Mark.
I had back when they had area guides, you'd have to go to the area guide. They had campers, and you'd have to go up there and listen to a little spiel, like don't shoot spikes and all that stuff. Those were always fun.
But James said, how wide was the buck you took earlier this year again? Not wide enough, James.
Yeah.
It would not have passed at Fort Knox.
Nope.
That's why I'm going to shoot a bigger one at Fort Knox.
That's exactly right. But there was one time I saw a deer with one horn. It was just one spike, and it just went on one side, and there was nothing on the other. And when we got back, the area guide's like, "Did you shoot it?" And I was like, "Well, no, I didn't know how wide it was because it only had one." He's like, "Why didn't you shoot it?" He's like, "Why didn't you shoot it?" And I was like, "I didn't know how wide it was. There was no other antler."
Infinity, like it just keeps going. So you're allowed to shoot if it just has one antler?
So that area guide told me, yeah, but I don't think I would take that shot. Me personally, as soon as I saw the deer, because it was actually one of the earlier hunts, and I had does come through, and they I let them go through because I wanted to try to get a buck. Literally 30 minutes later, he took the same trail that the does took, and it went right in front of me. Yeah, and I knew it only had one. It just had one spike. It was it. And I was like, man, I ain't shooting that. I don't want to get in trouble. But the area guide was like, dude, why didn't you shoot that deer? And it's like, oh, I didn't know how wide it was.
Well, because you guys put the fear of God in us.
I know, dude.
Gordy says, just shoot him. I like Gordy's thinking. Just shoot a monster. I mean, if you think about bucks you have on trail camera, a lot of even smaller bucks, they're outside the ears. So it'll be fine. I'm not worried about it.
Yep.
And if so, I don't care. Listen, I don't care to go there and kill a couple does and come home. I can kill a doe each weekend. I'll be fine with that.
Yeah.
Chris says, oh yeah. What if you shoot when you get there and you're like, dude, that's not wide enough. Can you just say you never recovered it? That's unethical. I'm not saying I would never do that. It's unethical, but could you get away with it like that?
I mean,
I guess you could.
I mean,
because there's deer shot there that are never recovered.
Oh, I'm sure that
happens every week, honestly.
Yeah, I'm sure that probably happens. It's just one of those things you just gotta know. You gotta make sure that's why, it probably pays to be like extra conservative with it. Like there are times where I've passed deer and then I'm like, I might snap a photo of it with my phone. And then I'll send it to all the guys in the text message. I'm like, you think that buck's wide enough? And they're like, yeah, dude, why didn't you shoot that deer?
Well, that's exactly what Doug just said. He said, I watched the buck that your dad shot and he passed on it. 5 minutes later, your dad shot it. He texted me and said, do you have a measurement tape? So your dad was nervous.
He probably
your dad was nervous. Like, hey, Doug, man, you got to. Dude, I don't know if this is wide enough. I think it's 11 3/4 inches.
It made it, man. My dad, after they measured it, he took it in there and they're like, there's no freaking way you knew that was 12 inches.
But it doesn't matter if you know.
No, I mean, if it makes it, then it's legal. You're good. But yeah, that one would have, I would not have
take the weapon. So they take your deer, they fine you, they probably suspend you, maybe.
Probably
not maybe for that season or something, not forever. I mean, I know people that have been in been caught in unrestricted areas and they're suspended like a year or 3 years or something
Okay.
like that. So
Well, I do like the stories that I've heard is like if you bring in a deer that's under, like some people will just bring in the buck that they killed and it's under the 12 inches, but
yeah.
and they get like berated, like they get yelled at by the people at the
Well,
check-in
I
station.
mean, it's not. I don't care to get yelled at. I'll be like,
Yeah,
hey, sorry.
that you get yelled at, and then the rest of the stuff happens. Like they take
Right.
the
That's the
deer
stuff
and,
I care about. I'm gonna be like,
yeah,
look, you can yell. Just give me my punishment.
yeah.
Whatever.
I've never seen it happen to anybody in our group, but I've heard of it
Yeah.
happening.
Well, Mark has agreed to take up a collection to help me pay the fine. So you know what? I feel better now. I feel
Hey,
better that I got some people got my back
outside the ears, just outside the ears, you're
or
good
close.
or close. If it's at the ears, you're probably going to be at 15
So
inches
it
anyway.
doesn't matter
So
at all. Like you see some giant, like kind of unique, straight up antlers, and
don't shoot it.
that's crazy. All right,
I
Josh
know.
Teeter has a question. And look, while we're talking about all this, we want you to tell us how what kind of deer activity. Someone said, some of y'all said deer in your place are chasing and the rut is on and all that. We want to know. Send me pictures. I'll share them. Josh says your favorite place to eat at Fort Knox.
Cattlemen's.
Say that again.
Cattlemen's.
Cattlemen's.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Hey,
it's
look,
it's kind of
Alan
like
Crowe.
Texas roll. Alan.
Alan, I couldn't find any more costumes. I had this fox fur. I said, hey, I'm going to be Alan for Halloween. So there you go.
Love it.
Alan Probst. What a guy. Bub says, I see Josh is watching. I know he's still sick from having to work while his target was at his stand. He does have to work. And then Saturday morning, I was bear hunting, and Chris and I was out there, and I told Chris, I said, man, I hope my brother's hunting. He's got deer all over it. And I text my brother, are you hunting? He wasn't hunting.
Dang.
He wasn't hunting. So, anyway.
Cattlemen's is my favorite place to eat. It's kind of like Texas Roadhouse.
PK says, don't worry, John. I'll be there with you. I'll let you know when it ain't a shooter. PK, we ain't going to be hunting the same tree, bro. If a big buck comes in, I don't want PK there. He'll shoot it. I saw PK hit a target pretty accurately at 100 yards. I ain't hunting with that dude. He'll put him down before I can even see the thing. That guy's a sharpshooter, man. Let's see. Yellow, and I saw that he was on there. That's cool. Alan's a good dude. Mark, his buddy that helps him, is a good guy too.
I saw Greg said that they don't take deer.
So what happens? A fine?
I don't know. So I've never actually heard of I've heard through like a person say, hey, this guy, we saw this guy, get yelled at because he shot a small buck. And
well, maybe it's just the yelling at.
Back in the day, I'm pretty sure, and Doug, you might be able to correct me at this. This might be before my time, but I'm pretty sure back in the day they took your deer. Like they might not do that now.
I guess they could donate it.
I think they do. But
just said
punish you for doing it.
I guess if they said, hey, we got to take your deer, I'd be like, look, can you just donate it to Hunters for the Hungry? I'm cool with that.
I think they do something like that. I can't remember.
That works for me.
At least, back when
I know they're not going to take it, cut the back straps out, and go eat. I know they're not doing that.
Yeah, right.
So, Scott Hopper said, I hunted this past weekend at Knox, passed on an 8-point at 20 yards that looked borderline 12 inches. See, Scott, the fear's real. Saw a shooter Sunday in the rain, but out of range, did kill a doe anyway. There's my guy. That's what I'm going to try to do.
I love doe hunting at Fort Knox. It's so much fun, and they actually appreciate you killing the does. They'll even tell you, like, they get excited when you bring in a doe. Fact is, Doug's gotten some really big does down there. He killed one that was 123 pounds. My cousin a couple years ago killed one that was 10 years old. Really cool.
I'll tell you what I might try to do. I might see if my brother, he has our crossbow, just to give me a little bit of distance. I might see if I can meet Josh before the 11th and get that crossbow. You're allowed to use crossbow there?
I think so. Yeah, I'd have to look at that.
I've not looked. I just assumed I need to look. But that would give me a little more distance. But I feel pretty good with my compound anyway.
Yeah.
I need to shoot some more between 30 and 40 just to get comfortable if it's 35 or something like that. They're putting one in Richwood, I heard, Mike. I think he means Cattleman's in Radcliffe.
Yep. That's the one we go to.
Josh Teeter says Colton Steakhouse is the best place in the world. You've been there?
I don't think I have. Where's that at?
Josh, Josh, are you going to be out there like the 11th and 18th and 19th, 11th, 12th, 18th, 19th? Because I think some of us are going to try to get together, maybe a little like pseudo deer camp at Fort Knox. I don't know. I know PK and I will be out there together. Let's see, 1:30, Mike.
Nice.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we have Israel in the chat. Shalom to Israel. I don't know if that's the official Israel YouTube account or if the guy's name Israel or if it's fake. Does anybody read that right there? What's that say, Mike?
I don't have any idea, unfortunately.
I think it says bucks are chasing does in Israel.
That could be a very good guess.
The rut is on. I think that's translated. The rut is on.
My Uncle Darren did hunt this morning, I think until 10 o'clock, and he saw two small bucks kind of bumping does around. So it's starting to...
I think seeing it everywhere. Halloween is always the time of year that people... I mean, I guarantee you there are big bucks killed tonight that we'll see tomorrow or even tonight. Loman's going for a monster buck at Big Rivers WMA this weekend. Oh, yeah, quota hunts this weekend too. Quota hunts. Get those deer good and pressured before the gun season comes in for the official gun season. Let's see. Anybody on here from Wayne County? Is that Wayne County, Kentucky or Ohio, Gary? I've got a lot. It's 9:59. I got to show these things. Let's see. Steve said I didn't. What are you doing, Mike?
I'm clicking.
Oh, I didn't get a buck last year. Hunted Knox one time during the quota gun and passed on a borderline one. It was so tough.
It is.
Josh already has. That's what I do, Josh. I just leave my sticks and platform on the tree. Let's see. Oh, Scott says no. Israel said die coons. That's what they were saying. All coons must die. All raccoons must die. It says. Let's see. Bub says we back Israel at Eastern Outdoors Media. Yeah, that's why I threw my support behind Israel against Hamas, and now they're on here supporting us. I scratched their back, they scratched mine. Let's see. Jeremy Wiley says, I have been there 5 months, and I saw more deer on my way to work today than I have ever before. There you go.
I'm going to have to try Colton's. Everybody keeps saying Colton's is good.
Colton's. Hey, let's go. Well, I don't know if we'll be there the same weekend. Wayne County, Kentucky, just wondering if there's any rut activity. Anybody from Wayne County down? I tell you what, Wayne County's not too far from Pulaski County, and I think things are on at Pulaski County. Josh Teeter will be the 18th, 19th. Josh, holler at me, 18th and 19th. I know I will be there. PK will be there. Our buddy Steven will be there. Probably more people that we know will all get together, hang out. I got some Onyx. Josh, I got an Onyx, free Onyx membership I can give you when we're there. We get together. That'll be fun.
That Thanksgiving weekend, it looks like it's going to be
patient.
It's going to be me, my cousin John, James, Uncle Don, Uncle Darren, my dad, Doug, and maybe my cousin Brad, and then you going, right?
If I've not filled that buck gun tag, I guess is the best way to say it, then I will try to be there.
Okay.
It depends on my mom and her plans and my kids and what they're doing with they're with their mom or whoever. So
sure.
But you know what? I got plenty of family to take care of the kids. My mom,
it'd be cool.
I'll tell them my birthday's that next weekend, so I'll say, "Hey, Mike invited me out there. As kind of a birthday get together. I can't pass it up."
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man.
Butch Irwin will be there the 25th and 26th too. So
cool. We get there on Friday.
Together, man. We have to get together.
Yeah, we get together on Friday down there. We meet up. Sometimes we go at the same time, so we carpool down.
Black Friday.
We stop
at Fort Knox.
We stop at the Cracker Barrel down there, or like just on the way down, and we eat
Yeah.
breakfast. It's usually a huge long table of all guys in orange and camo and all that stuff.
Nice.
Usually I wear the garb for Eastern Outdoors
I'll
Media
bring
down
my
there.
fox fur. I think this is going to be like my signature look. Like Ric Flair wore that. He'd wear the garland. I'm just going to wear the fox.
Nice. Yeah.
I'll be honest, Mike. I wish, my hope is that November 11th and 12th, I fill my archery tag buck with the buck. November 18th, 19th, I do it again, and I'm not coming down there the 25th and 26th. However, I will if I need to.
Yeah, dude.
Mark said, tell Uncle Darren I'll keep his deer stand warm while he's gone if he needs me to.
There you go. There you go. I like it. It needs to stay warm.
Mike, you've been to Moorhead together. How far do you think? Well, I'll tell you this. Moorhead is about an hour and 15 minutes from me. Fort Knox is about an hour and a half. So you're looking at about 2:45, I think.
Yeah, I'd say 2:45 is going to say closer to 3 from Moorhead, probably. It's about 2.5.
Depending on where you are in Moorhead. Yeah.
Yeah. So Fort Knox is in like Shepherdsville, Radcliffe area, Hardin County. What other county? There's at least one other county in there, but Hardin is kind of one of the main ones there. Yeah, so I'd say it's about 2.5 for me, probably about 3.5 for three-ish for Joe.
Bub says that with your kids, it's give and take. I let my girlfriend have a weekend at the lake this summer while I was at work. Now I'm at deer camp while she has my kids for this week. It's nice that Bub can make it to one deer camp this year.
Yes, sir.
He sure didn't make it to ours, did he, Mike?
He missed ours. He missed our October.
Do you remember, Mike, that I scheduled that around his schedule and he stiffed us?
I do remember that vaguely.
Yeah. Anyway, shouldn't have brought that up, Bub. Sore topic.
I love it.
PK says PK, if I can get down there this Friday, my first time there, I can only hunt until noon because I got to get my girls from school, and I kill a buck Friday morning, I'll be thrilled because I don't have to go back next weekend. But here's the thing I'm thinking, Mike. You give me some guidance here. I can only hunt till noon. I got to be back to get my girls about 2:30, right? So I could probably hunt till 1. So if I have to be back in Frankfurt, let's say this, if I have to leave no later than 1, what is the latest I can actually shoot at a deer? PK can only hunt until noon too.
I would probably not shoot a deer after 10:30 or 11.
I was thinking 11 is probably the latest.
Because depending on where you're at, there's you're not driving anywhere to get that deer, or you're not taking any type of, you're carting it with a deer cart or a sled or dragging it. So depending on how far you're out there, and Doug will tell you that I've got crazy uncles and crazy dad, and they wait till the very last second and they shoot the deer at the last second. And the guides are sending the MPs in because they're dragging deer, and they're the last dudes always out of the woods trying to harvest deer,
Well, you know what I'll do? I'll call the school and say, hey, I'm the basketball coach there.
Yeah.
So I'll say, Mr. Bradley, he's the principal. Mr. Bradley, I'm at Fort Knox. I just shot a deer. It's a buck. It's at least 12 inches wide. And I can't come get the girls right now. Can you hang out with them? Can you send them to the after school program and I'll pay for a day? I don't know.
That might have to be it, because if you end up shooting if one comes in at 10:30 and it's a great opportunity, then you can't pass it up. You're there, so you may as well. But if one comes in at
it better be a good dang shot. That's all I
know. Yeah, it's tough.
You know me, Mike. I'm going for it. If he walks out, if I'm climbing down and I'm like, oh, dude, I gotta go, and he walks out, I'm shooting him, and PK will have to track him and bring him to me. All right, so we got people asking to show their deer. They're losing patience with us. I understand, but we do appreciate all of you. We love you.
Fun conversation tonight.
Chris McNaughton, my bear hunting buddy. Oh my gosh, Chris! I just remembered I left that. Loman brought me and Chris summer sausage, and I left it at my freaking mom's house. I just remember that.
Well,
And
now
I
she
and
has
I
some.
bought a bottle of bourbon. I left a summer sausage and a bottle of bourbon at my mom. She won't drink the bourbon, but she might eat that summer sausage. I don't know. All right, here is Chris. Here's I was inviting everyone to join the live. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna tell Chris how old we think how what size this we think this buck is, what it would measure, and then we're gonna say, is this a legal buck at Fort Knox? Just to give me an idea, okay? So let's see here. This is Chris's buck, Chris McNaughton there. We'll go ahead and say yes, that is a legal buck at Fort Knox. Easily legal. But how big? It's got split brow tines there. You see that? Right side larger than left side. A little taller here, a little wider out there. What do you think, Mike?
I'm going to go upper 140s, low 150s.
Really?
Probably mid 150s.
I wouldn't think it'd be that big. Is Fort Knox right on the Kentucky River? No, it is south of Louisville. Maybe the west side of Fort Knox touches the Kentucky River. No, it doesn't. That would have to be the Ohio River, right? There is a river that runs through Fort Knox. What is it? Green River?
Shoot, I don't remember.
Michael.
I need to get back into
Area 4. The Salt River runs right through
River,
Fort
that's
Knox.
right.
And the west side of Fort Knox borders the Ohio River, not the Kentucky River. Maybe that's what you meant. So 135, 3.5 years old is what a lot of people are saying. So you're right, 135. There you go, Chris. Put her down, brother. Put him down, I guess you should say.
Yeah, that's a good deer.
Yeah, absolutely. Love it.
I need to get back into Area 40. It's been a while, man. There's that Area 40 one
time. Mike. Bro, don't give her Aries away here.
We've done it before. I've talked about Area 40 on this show.
Yeah, but now it's close to hunting time.
Nah. It's a good area,
say
man.
PK and I are going in that direction.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I mean, in Area 40, my dad and I just happened to, we'd never been in there before. We stumbled. We went up this big path, kind of up a big hill, and it kind of went around. And we just decided to branch off to the right. And, man, as soon as we did, it was still dark. We started getting into
it, Bub.
Go ahead, Bub.
Forget what he said, Bub. Forget it.
No,
don't worry. Hey, don't worry. Bub won't show up anyway. He'll tell you he'll be there and won't show up. Don't worry.
My dad and I, we branched off to the right. That's a young deer.
Now, I got a question here. Go ahead. Your dad and you branched off to the right.
Yeah, we branched off the right, and it was still dark. So when we got in the woods, we got off the path and we started going in the woods. And, man, we started climbing all over all kinds of stinking blowdowns. A bunch of freaking trees fell down, and we must have walked into the worst place to walk in the woods. And it's just like we're ducking and diving and climbing and crawling and all kinds of crap. And finally, dude, it starts getting daylight, and we get into a big open woods that overlooks a big old holler. And we decided to sit down, and we're sitting there. It's like 8 or 8:30. Usually that happens with me and my dad. We'll take a while until we find something that we like, and we sit down at 8:30 or 9. You know, about 8:30. My dad's putting his coveralls on. He's going like this and putting his coveralls on, and I'm around the other side of the tree. And I look down, and a nice 8-pointer's coming through the woods, and he comes around all them blowdowns that we came out of, and all of a sudden he turns broadside and starts eating acorns.
Nice.
And I'm like, and I was a little bit away from my dad at that point. And I just went, I gave him a little quick whistle, and he perked up and looked at me, and I went, real slow. And he turned around like this. He was all fanned out because he still had his arm stuck in his coveralls.
Yeah.
And he peeked around the tree and saw that deer. And then he turned around and his eyes were super wide. And he's like, "Can I shoot?" And I was like, "Sure." I was like, "Sure." And so he finished putting his stuff on, and he picked his shotgun up and kind of turned, and boom, that deer flipped upside down. That was cool, man. That day we saw 15 deer after that.
Man, I hope my day goes like that. I really do.
It was awesome.
It'll be fine. So this deer right here, that's a close one at Fort Knox. From this angle, you might see him from another angle, but who knows what angle I'll see my deer at Fort Knox. That's a close one. Yep. I think it would be legal.
It looks legal.
I mean, the outside antlers look much wider than 12 inches.
Yeah, it looks legal. It does. It's
I think
close.
so too.
It's
I think so
closer than
too.
the last deer.
Now that's a small 8-pointer. What do you think? Maybe 2.5 years old.
Yeah, I'd say 2.5.
That's what I would say. PK said age it. I did 2.5. I would say. Oh well, we got more. Joe Carter said 2.5. James says 2.5. That's just based on antlers. We could all be wrong. It could be a 10-year-old. Who knows? But Bub says that's close to the limit. I'm passing to be safe. I probably wouldn't, honestly. I probably wouldn't pass it, Mike.
No, that's a pretty
I
nice
think I'd
deer.
be okay. Yeah.
Right now, like if I saw that deer today or tomorrow when if I'm hunting, which I'm not, I'm going to work. But I would probably pass because I'm still trying to be patient for something really nice, man.
Right.
I'm
But
really
at
trying
Fort
to wait.
Knox, you would shoot it.
Yeah, if I was at Knox, if it was my state tag, I probably would hold off. But if it was at Knox and I knew it was legal, that's a pretty good deer. Yeah.
Let's see here what Bub. I don't think Bub shared a picture with me, but okay, yeah, this is from today. Okay, this is a kind of a weird looking buck here. The Bub buck. See, WO said what I thought. See, I thought oops, share the wrong screen. I thought the rule at Fort Knox was 15, and most people say 15 is even with the outside of the ears.
Yeah, 15
So
is
if you're
Higginson.
even with the outside of the ears at Fort Knox, then you're probably good.
Yeah, 15 is Higginson Henry. That's their rule at Higginson Henry. But Knox is 12 outside. So if you're
oh sorry, Mike.
no, I was say so if you're looking, like I said, the very quick rule of thumb, if that deer is meeting its ears, it's 15 inches wide or better, probably.
Yeah,
So
I think so.
you see that immediately, that's a shot at Knox that you can be very, very confident in.
Yep. What do you think about this one?
That's a cool buck, man. He looks a little older. He looks a little older. He's been.
Well, is that the one you're after right now out in Lawrence County? What is Louisa? Is that Lawrence County? You probably don't know, Mike.
No, I don't.
Louisa? Bub, is Louisa Lawrence County? I can't remember. I think it is. James said I'd wax that sucker. That's cool looking. 4.5, 5.5 years old. Somebody's saying there.
Yeah, that's
Bub
cool.
says, yes, I'm after 3. Bub is after 3 deer there. He does. Bub, do you know you can only shoot 1, right? Oh yeah, look at that. That's nice.
Yeah, that's probably a 4.5-year-old, maybe 5.5, broken tines.
Oh, that's the one he showed last week or before. Yeah, I think that's him again, right? Too. That's broken. Looks like it's hard to see with that tree right there.
Yeah, I can't tell. It kind of looks a little different, but
it does. He said he was after 3. Look at that! My gosh!
Wow.
I got to find that one. We'll share that one on the page. That looks like that Mitch Rampala buck. You know what I'm talking about? Out of Michigan, that everybody thinks. Not everybody, but some people think could be fake. Media talks a lot about that. All right, let's keep going. Who else sent me pictures? If you have sent me pictures, I'm not showing them. Let me know. Let's see. WO is up next.
That lady told you on the phone about your Knox papers. If you mail it, it takes longer. Now I'm kind of worried. I mailed mine today.
But you're not going till after
gun
Thanksgiving.
season.
You'll be fine.
Well, I'm going to try to go down and pick mine up during gun season because I'm off all week.
Oh, nice. There you go.
So I'm going to try to go pick mine up then, and then I'm going to take a picture of it and send it to Hunt Control email. Because what you got to do is once you get your gun permit, you have to take a picture of it, send it to Hunt Control so they have proof that you've got your gun permit, and then they send you your permits available online.
All right, now this is a tricky sucker. Obviously, great deer.
Yeah, it would be. I would be sick
man.
seeing that deer at Knox.
Now, WO said this. I actually know what the outside spread is. WO, don't say it yet. WO, don't say it, guys. You got a 12-inch outside spread. Do you think this deer made it?
He made it.
I will tell you what the total is. The total is 140 inches.
Yeah.
But he was right at 12 inches.
Yeah. I was going to say he made it, but
WO said it was right at 12 inches. And See, that one right there is where you're like, what do you do?
Yeah, that's
How do you
insane.
pass that buck?
I don't know.
You don't. You don't pass it. If they listen, if Greg, if I can confirm they don't take your deer weapon and that buck walks out, you don't pass that. You take your year suspension, you let Mark Lilly pay your fine, and you take it home.
That'd be I in all the years,
Bub
and
said, "Give me the fine." See,
Doug would have to just in the experiences that all of them in their group, even before I started hunting with them, uh, I don't know how many opportunities people saw deer like that. So I don't know if
yeah,
that's ever been an issue for everybody. But like my dad killed a buck that ended up being around 150 down there one year in area 2, and it was, I mean, he was super wide. He was like 18 to 20 inches wide or something like that. So,
yeah,
but that buck right there, if you saw that broadside and saw how long those tines were, you would
right,
probably not assume that that was 12 inches wide only.
exactly.
That's crazy.
It's a great buck, and that's the thing. That is a rare case, man. Like for a buck to be 140 inches and be less than 12 outside, I don't. I mean, that would be a crazy looking buck.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy looking buck. Let's see here. What else we got? All right, Justin Isaac. If Justin's still on here, now look at this buck. I want you to look at the body on this buck. Look at the neck on this buck. How old do you think this buck is?
Wow.
He's a pretty buck. I wish it was daytime. I'm sure Justin does too, right? What do you think
I
about
bet
that,
you,
fellas?
I bet you that deer is 6.5.
He's older. He's
Yeah.
older than on the others we've looked at. Now I can't tell you because I'm bad at it.
He's 6.5 plus for sure. His face, when their face gets blocky like that and almost stubby looking,
Yeah.
and then
PK says 3.5. Do you think PK's way off on this?
uh that
Mike, I
deer
want you to
is
look
just,
into the camera and just tell PK he's wrong.
I don't think it's 3.5. I think that deer is definitely older. His face tells that
You guys
story.
says
It
eight and
really
a half.
does.
So we have
Wow.
anywhere from 4, 4.5, 5.5, 8.5. Bub says that's a mountain deer. He's we love those mountain bucks, brother.
That is a
I love them.
true mature deer. And to be honest with you, I don't even know if he can reach more. That deer in his antlers, like I don't even know if he can reach more potential, if that makes any sense.
He might start
I
declining if
think,
he hasn't already,
yeah,
right?
I think he is what he is at this point, and it
Yeah.
could even kind of start to be on the decline. But just by looking at his face, his neck, his body, he's certainly an older deer.
You know, Bub said mountain deer, and I've come to the conclusion after spending the weekend in on two different mountain ranges there in Harlan and just taking all that in. Next year, I will not. Let's say I go and hunt with Hurley again. Even if I kill a buck, which I won't kill the ones the same size I killed this year. I'll hold off and try to kill one bigger, more mature, I should say. I have to keep at least a doe tag open because I love hunting in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. And this weekend, I was there bear hunting, but if I would have seen a deer, I wouldn't have had a chance to hunt it because I'm tagged out in zone 4. And I was
Mm-hmm.
really bummed about that. So I'm not going to do that next year. I'm not going to. I'm not going to try to kill. Um, I'm just going to keep it open because I have to hunt the mountains. It's my favorite place in the world. And if I could get to the top of one of those mountains and kill a mountain buck, like maybe this one is, I don't know if it is, dude. That's the dream come true.
Yeah.
Let's see. The one I just sent you is old. Bub said. This one was 10/27, so that was 4 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Thanks for sharing that, Justin.
Yeah. I love that. That's a cool deer.
Justin said he's number 2 or 3 on the list at this point. Justin has a lot of good deer over there.
Yeah.
He shared a lot of them with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sure has.
Let's see, bub. Where are you?
I need to start seeing deer like that on my camera. It's right now it's been pretty slow. I've got a couple spikes showing up.
I'm gonna
And
show you this buck. This buck is gonna make you sad, Mike.
yeah.
We're losing viewers. We're gonna have to hurry. That's a nice buck.
Ooh, yeah.
Got killed by a car.
Oh.
Ah, come on, dumb buck. Got
Oh
killed by a
man.
car. I hate when that happens, man. I mean, I know deer get hit by a car all the time. It's going to start happening so much over the next 3-4 weeks.
I'm already seeing it in just in my town. I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
It's already happening a little bit.
Yeah.
That's
So
brutal.
anyway, that sucks. It sucks.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited, man. Fun couple weeks coming up.
Dude, I am so excited. I'm excited to get to Fort Knox this Friday, just to see it, just to see what I need to do.
Yep.
We are going upper 30s, low 40s. I was told it's the steepest part of Fort Knox. I mean, kind of used to that anyway. So that's a good wide buck right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 15-incher for sure.
Yeah.
And he said it's an old buck. Kind of hard to see from that picture. But yeah, man, I'm pumped. Let me see if anyone else sent pictures. That I don't like to leave people out. Mike, do you think in your place where everyone on Facebook is talking about the deer activity, my phone's been blowing up from the cameras that my brother's using, and what do you think? I mean, you're not really getting a lot, but I know there's deer out there. Do you think maybe you just need to move your camera?
I think so. Yeah,
Different
I think
location?
I have my camera kind of positioned in a place that doesn't we don't usually even see a lot of deer activity. That's crazy. That's neat. I remember
Yeah,
somebody
that
shared
buck.
this.
That one doesn't cut it.
No,
That one
that's
does.
that's crazy how the difference in size there.
That's a
But
Grant County or Grant, Kenton, something county buck. That's Mark Lilly.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Mark shared this picture with me the other day. It's amazing. That's amazing to see the difference in those deer, the size and stuff. It's
Isn't that crazy? I
yeah,
mean, the angle probably helps, but I mean that you could fit that deer inside that one.
yeah, it almost seems like you could. But yeah, so I mean, I think my camera's probably not in the best place to kind of capture deer. It's sort of in the open. It's up by the corner of our cornfield. I mean, deer visit and go through, but it's not, probably near super close to bedding areas. It's just deer coming in and out of the corn probably. But I probably need to move it, but it is the best place that I get cell service up on my uncle's. So that's kind of why I make sure I put it there, just so I know I'll get the pictures.
Yeah, Josh has gotten a lot, man. I mean, there's deer in there. I have to turn my notifications off because my phone will go dead because of all the dang pictures coming through. It's literally like every 2 minutes there's a new picture. And even tonight, there's already a bunch of them. Let's see. He's got some. Oh, yeah. He sent me a video. Let's watch the video he sent, and then we'll hop off here. It's been almost an hour and a half.
I had turkeys strutting on mine yesterday. They were all confused.
Oh yeah, this is a good buck. This is a really good buck. Ooh. I'm really impressed with this Moultrie Edge camera. Nah, that one's kind of harder to see. Hold on.
That's that deer with the kickers.
He sent the same video. Yeah, it's the deer. It's a 13-pointer. Here's the thing. He doesn't look very old.
He doesn't.
And I've tried to tell Josh, like, look, you've got a couple of really good deer in there. This deer could blow up. When it has two small kickers on each side, next year those things could come. I mean, the deer has potential, a lot of potential.
Yeah.
And so I actually hope he doesn't see it and doesn't kill it, and no one else kills it. If someone kills it, I want it to be him. But I hope it hides out until next year, just so we can see what happens to it. Just so we can see how much bigger it gets. He just sent another one, he said.
It's a nice one.
I think so, too. I mean, I would shoot it.
I probably would too,
For
frankly.
sure. Yeah, for sure. Oh, this is the better one, and you guys probably saw this. I think me and him both posted it. Mark says shaping up to be another great turkey season.
Yeah, I mean,
35 gobblers.
I've seen several. I don't know how many different ones, but I've seen several gobblers and even a couple jakes with kind of maybe 4 to 5 inch beards
Yeah.
showing up. And I've got about a group of 10 hens and poults that come in too.
Yeah. But this guy is crushing that antler builder block.
Yeah, he is. He's
He's
all over it
figured
right
out.
now, licking it and eating it right now. Man, that's a cool buck. Yeah, I'd have a hard time passing that deer. That's a dandy.
Yeah, it is.
That's what my guess would be. Somebody said 3.5. That's what my guess is as
Yeah,
well.
he's young. What if you let him get to 5? I mean, he could be a 200-inch buck if you let him get to 5.5 years old.
He could. He does. In the next 2 years, he could really explode for sure.
I
And
know.
he could end up having just an absolute wild rack. He really
Crazy with those two kickers. I mean,
could.
Josh
Mm-hmm.
could get up there in the record books, but nope. Instant gratification. All right, fellas. Well, if you've sent me any more pictures, I do apologize. We are going to call it a night. It is Halloween. Hopefully, we've got some big bucks that are on the ground tonight, and we'll see them maybe in the morning. Scott Butler said, I'd let him walk, and everybody say, no, you wouldn't. I wouldn't let him walk either. However, I hope he walks because I want to see him.
Yeah, it'd be amazing to see.
Talk about him next year, right?
Probably.
We'll talk about him next year. So,
Hey,
listen, guys, we appreciate you. Go ahead, Mike.
I was just going to say, Zach Smith was watching. He got his target buck last night or yesterday evening.
Is that the one I accidentally showed a while ago?
Yeah, I think it was. But you just wanted to give him a shout out. Got his target buck.
Zach.
I've been seeing it for a couple years, and it was a really cool buck, really unique rack, and a really nice one. So congrats.
Yeah. All right, fellas, we appreciate everyone who has hung out with us tonight. Hopefully you've put some candy in your belly from your kids trick-or-treating, and you'll put a buck on the ground real soon. Stay tuned. Mike and Josh are going to ramp up their hunting, see what they can come up with. I'm going to be at Fort Knox trying to get it done. And if you see any cool stories, send them our way. We love to share them. So, Mike, I appreciate you. Have a good night, my friend. Everyone else, we'll see you next Tuesday.
Happy Halloween.
Signing off, Alan Probst, Fox Trapper, extraordinaire.